end is almost coming into sight, and you're running out of time. Your decision on a dime has you gliding through the sky, and you're
praying that you fly on.
Didn't go as planned, but you're knowing where to land, so you're sticking out your hand while you hear the cheering.
Fans, commentators in the stands going in a freaking trance when you're
Rage to the pylon.
I just had this sandwich place called Garbanzo. Luckily for you guys, you cannot smell my breath over this podcast. Yeah. Greatest game ever? Perhaps. You know, there's been so many excellent games throughout the 97-year history of the NFL that can cause that debate to go on for another 97 years, but that doesn't really matter at this point. As football fans, whether your team won or lost, that was certainly the best game of the 2016 season by far. The Patriots and the Falcons closed out an otherwise atrocious playoff series in spectacular fashion. When the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, you know you're going to get the drama, the back and forth excitement, the storylines, all of that. I hate the Patriots, but I have to respect what they have meant to the NFL since the early 2000s. They give us a great, sometimes corrupted brand of football, which is why they've been the model franchise. I predicted the Patriots to win the game, and if you need an explanation of why, go back and watch my epic Super Bowl prediction video. Anyway, but I predicted the Patriots to win, and obviously in the first half, it looked like the Falcons could have dropped 40 on that team. They were up 21. When they were up 21-3, I was like, no matter. It's only 17 points. Patriots will make adjustments. They'll make a play before halftime. Then the score went to 28-3, and I was like, ooh, well, this isn't good. And that's when I started to doubt, just like everyone else. Because in the first half, it looked like I was wrong about the defenses. The Falcons' defense was absolutely flying. They had the swagger, all the confidence in the world, and they came to play. The Patriots' number one defense was getting gashed and was literally holding on for dear life, hoping for the Patriots' offense to give them some wiggle room. And then they flipped the script. The 2016 Patriots defense is the most underrated unit in NFL history. Think about it. They only gave up 15 points a game during the regular season. They go up against one of the top scoring offenses ever, and they only give up 21 points, all in the first half. They forced that top offense to lay a goose egg in the final 2 quarters plus overtime. That defensive stand where they smacked the Falcons out of field goal range was a thing of beauty, but more on that in a minute. This Patriots defense is grossly underrated and has been all postseason. It's time to give them credit. I'm Milton Woolley, and you're now listening to The Pylon. I hate to be that guy, but I like to put things in proper perspective. We live in a society where everyone wants credit where credit is due, so here it goes. I already said that the Patriots 2016 defense is the most underrated unit ever. I'm a Peyton Manning guy, but Peyton wouldn't have came back from 25 points to beat this team and probably would have thrown 2 more picks after the first one. Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's the GOAT of football, greatest of all time. And so is Bill Belichick. The Patriots, not the Cowboys, were the best team in football all season long. Anything else? Oh, I'm good? Okay. Now, the Patriots need to thank the Atlanta Falcons for essentially throwing the game away by absolutely refusing to run the ball. You're up by 25 points, and you run exactly 5 running plays throughout the duration of the second half. Huh? And refusing to stick with the run basically cost you a chance at a field goal in what would have put the game out of reach. Tevin Coleman got hurt, but you still have Devontae Freeman, and even if you get stuffed a few times, at least you still had time running off the clock, and you're still in the range of Matt Bryant. You have nothing to gain from passing Kyle Shanahan. See, this is what's wrong with offensive coordinators with young quarterbacks in big spots. You value putting over your young quarterback's validity rather than just winning the game. We saw the play call with Seattle, and they haven't been able to really recover since then. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? To really stick it to the league, to all those other quarterbacks, I'm going to unnecessarily put the game on my young quarterback's shoulders with the game on the line against the GOAT Tom Brady. That'll show them. Really? What about your quarterback's validity now, after the fact? See, Kyle Shanahan ran the risk of now putting Matt Ryan in the same category as, a Donovan McNabb or a Tony Romo. Quarterbacks that are good enough to get you there, but not good enough to win you one. And that's not to discredit Matt Ryan and what he did this season, because it was truly amazing. But that's how the history books are gonna see it. Now, if he ends up eventually winning one, which, I doubt it, then maybe you can put him in the realm of a Drew Brees or a Peyton Manning, but he doesn't have one yet. Right now, Matt Ryan is our Donovan McNabb, our Tony Romo. Potentially elite quarterback with nothing to show for it. I'm Milton Woolley, and you're now listening to The Pylon. Where do the Falcons go from here? We know where the Patriots are headed, where they've always been. They're going to be stagnant at the top of the NFL landscape. Win their division, probably a first-round bye again. Even if they don't make it to the Super Bowl again next year, nobody's going to bat an eye because it's the Patriots. Which, by the way, I am not going to pick the Patriots in my Super Bowl prediction video for next year. They're obvious favorites. I want to get some unique insight and debate going. I'm not just going to say the Patriots for the sake of being right. So when I make that prediction video, put an asterisk next to it. I'm completely aware the Patriots have a 70% chance of being there again. As far as the Falcons go, I think they go back to where they were before. Contrary to popular belief, this squad wasn't considered an elite team until near the end of the regular season going into playoff time. They still dropped some inexplicable games to the NFL doormats. They went 11-5. The defense was terrible, and they only had their offense going for them because Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan finally seemed to click. Fool's gold. They got the national coverage because they marched through an injury-ravaged Seahawks and Packers team. The only impressive thing about the Falcons is their offense. But as you can see, I'll say it once again for the people in the back, for you guys in the nosebleed seats, defense wins championships, and it always will. You got a team like Tampa Bay who's hungry to ascend to the top. The Panthers are looking to restock, and Drew Brees will always be a threat to steal a game from the Falcons. They can very well fall right back into their place as a mid-card NFL team in one of the worst divisions in football. That's all I have for you guys today. We're now entering the downside of the year. No more football. Now we get to hear all the speculation of which players teams will draft, which teams will be good next year. We get to wait to see what players get busted for drugs, what players get released, contract extensions, all that good stuff. And I'm just saying this from a completely unbiased viewpoint. I think you'd be better off subscribing to me and hearing all that stuff from me. I'm just saying, no, not being biased, I'm just saying. I'm Milton Woolley, and this has been another edition of The Pylon.